The goal was to focus on the faces and the reactions. We can read the four groups of three from left to right, not as a snapshot, but as ripples of reactions emanating from Christ's announcement. Starting from the group of three to the left, who are James the Miner, Andrew, and Bartholomew, all of whom are reacting to what Christ has just said and exclaiming, as it says in the Bible, "Lord, is it I?" Much of their emotion is understood by their expressive hands, and of course, Leonardo comes from a country where hand gestures are an intrinsic part of its culture. He devoted countless hours to studying the structure and movement of hands in preparation, understanding their muscles, joints, and bones. He did numerous life drawings, of which only around 20 to 30 sketches related to the Last Supper have survived. The sketch he did of the hands of St. John has his hands interlaced, which Leonardo noted indicated sorrow, and it is a clear reference to other depictions of St. John, including in Montalfano's crucifixion on the opposite wall. By referencing what people know already, using familiar iconography, he is freeing himself up to experiment. The next group along are pivotal: Judas, Peter, and John. Peter is clutching the knife and asking John, who is it of whom he speaks? And here he is ready for action. The knife in Peter's hand alludes to the gospel account of his impulsive act later in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he drew a sword to defend Jesus being arrested and cut off the ear of the high priest's slave. This act demonstrates Peter's loyalty, but also his impetuous and aggressive nature, captured perfectly by Leonardo. The position of the knife is interesting too, as it's pointing to Bartholomew, who later will be skinned alive by barbarians, and is often shown holding a knife, the instrument of his torture as well as his flayed skin. Judas in this scene is nearly always on the other side of the table from the rest of the group, to signify his betrayal and separation from other apostles, an obvious villain. But by including Judas amongst the others, Leonardo underscored his humanity, showing that betrayal comes not from an outsider, but from within the close circle of Christ's followers, intensifying the drama. This nuanced reading of Judas and the complexities of moral choices is a precursor of something we will see later with Caravaggio. Leonardo's depiction reflects a shift in theological focus, artistic styles, and cultural attitudes towards Judas's role in the narrative. Rather than having his position separate from the group, it is Judas's posture and demeanor that sets him apart in Leonardo's version. He leans back, clutching a small bag containing the 30 pieces of silver he received for his betrayal, and his face is the only one in the group turning away, literally and figuratively, from the light, which comes from the left, casting his face in shadows to convey guilt and secrecy. This subtle differentiation achieves the effects of isolation without physically separating him from the group. Judas's neck turned towards us is a reminder that he will hang himself, full of shame and remorse.